Welcome back, everyone. Jennifer and Bart Mills with us today. They're going to do a movie review for us again. We're going to do Ambulance. I know, first of all, I know this is Michael Bay, so I'm assuming there's a huge chase and explosions. But I feel like somebody told me that Michael Bay has kind of upped his game a little bit as far as maybe plot and really getting you into this. Is that how you guys felt?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think Bay has had a well-earned reputation for pyrotechnics and frankly sort of plotless pulp for a long time. I mean, he did 5 Transformer movies back to back and didn't do a lot else besides that. But you got to remember, this is the same guy that gave us The Rock and Bad Boys and a whole lot of really important to me and to my generation action movies from the 90s. And so what we have with Ambulance, I think, is really more of the back to basics Bay, which is, first off, he was limited, $40 million budget, which today is almost nothing. And he blew up a lot of stuff for $40 million.
Jennifer, Jake Gyllenhaal is in this, obviously one of the lead names in this. How do you do?
Jake Gyllenhaal was brilliant. I mean, he was over the top, manic, frantic, but also charming and funny and psychotic, and he was everything all in one. He was amazing.
Bart, it's described as a heist movie. We've seen dozens and dozens of these. Does this one stand out? It's not the same old formula, is it?
Well, it's all the formulas. Of course, it's the same old formula. It's Michael Bay.
He didn't reinvent the wheel on this one.
Yeah, but it's a combination of heist, shootout, and car chase. And the car chase piece is probably the biggest piece of it. It's basically one very long, very kinetic car chase through LA. In an ambulance. Yeah, the heist is a good piece of it, but that's just a chunk. So he's all in on all the trifecta of important action movie cliches.
Well, Jennifer, the thing I read too was that you feel a little bit for the characters involved in this because everything goes south. The heist, the getaway goes awry, but you do feel for them because you can tell that they care for the patient in the ambulance, and there's more to these characters than just bad guys trying to steal money, right?
Well, there's a lot more because Will, who is played by Yahya, he is the adoptive brother to Jake Gyllenhaal's character. So they were raised together. They're really, really close, just like real brothers. So you've got that, protection and loyalty to each other too.
Bart, somebody told me that there's this, and I don't know if Michael Bay always does this, but there's this swooping camera technique he uses where he comes up from underneath in a sense and does it like 30% of the movie. Does that bother you, or is it fine?
No, it really. This is the most drone heavy shoot I've ever seen, and it plays. It really does work pretty well. It just adds to sort of the chaos that's going on. It puts you in the space, and it really is a bit of an homage to L.A. If you're an L.A. fan, I guess, because they did shoot it there, which is again amazing on $40 million. They have to have blown up half of L.A., but that's all right. We won't miss it. But it really is the drone footage, the way it's shot. I mean, Bay is really a craftsman, and this isn't CG. That's what makes this movie both sort of entertaining and also, by the way, really worthy of being seen in a theater.
Oh yeah, you need to see this in a theater if you can.
I can tell my guests are getting positive attention when I get emails for questions for them. Jennifer, somebody asked if I'm taking my family, if I have teens, are they okay? What's the age limit here, do you think?
Oh yeah, teens would be absolutely fine. There's no nudity, as long as they're okay with, violence of shootouts and things like that. But
there's some language and there's some gore. I mean, more gore than anything else. I mean, he loves there's a back of an ambulance surgery that's a little disruptive. But other than that, I mean, if you've got she has a stomach for that. She's still eating her popcorn through that one. But, But other than that, it's mostly just action. And so if you don't mind.
Non-stop action.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't remember since I saw Jurassic Park the first time in the theater where I was up in my seat, like this. I mean, you are all in.
Wow, I'm excited to see this. I'm with you, Bart. Like, The Rock is probably one of my favorite movies, so I'm kind of excited to see this Michael Bay film. Thank you, as always. We appreciate it. Good seeing you guys.
Thank
Always
you.
a pleasure. Thanks.
You bet. We'll be back after this.